No, the only solution for that was pick a chick. Pick a chick, pick a chick, pick a chick. You see, this is the most famous movie that Mahesh Bhatt made. I happened to be in Bombay when my son, 32-year-old son, was dying of cancer. And he had for you, I took him to America and spent $80,000 to put him on his 2 feet. Krishnamurti, was known for his healing powers, and then he volunteered. I said, I don't believe in healing powers at all. If you have any healing powers, put him on his 2 legs right away. There is no time factor then. Because we hear in the stories that rishis, when they said something, it happened immediately. He walked on water. Luckily for him and unluckily for mankind, the water happened to be only He laughed. Time you see, anyway, I did succeed, he was on his duty. And then he died of cancer when he was 32 years old. He became one of the top, what do you call advertising, what is it?
Freelance.
Not freelancing, the thumbs up. So many of these things he was doing. He made a lot of money.
Copywriter.
He was living for the first time outside of marriage with his secretary for 10 years. And then I happened to be here at the time when he was dying of cancer. First time in the newspapers, I was here in Bangalore. He was asking me, please come, I want to see you for the last time. I may not live long. I didn't show any interest in going and seeing my son. And then you see in the papers, it appeared that how can you be so unconcerned about his dying son? Valentine wished me. So then I decided to go and see. You know what the headlines in the newspapers said? How can an enlightened man visit his own son so often? They created a problem for him. Alright, see, then he died after some time. And I happened to be there, so because the girl he was living with was not married to him, I had to sign all the papers and then also take him there to the place, signed all the papers. And the next day, you see the enlightened man doing all these things. It was their problem. Now that was the only thing. And she was carrying the ashes. And the way I treated that, you see, it surprised everybody, the hospital people and Mahesh. And her father came and he wanted to comfort me, console me. And he asked me a question, how can your son die, sir? He thought that I am a spiritual man that I would save him. Or some says, why not my son? Why should somebody else's son die? So that was the thing. He made a famous movie. So it won international awards also my age. And so we were returning from that place and she was carrying the ash and she was crying. I asked her, the only way to forget the master, he is now reduced to ashes. He used to pick a gun. 10 minutes after he was reduced to ashes, I told that girl, and I thought she would get up and throw all the ashes on my head or some such thing, and everybody was frightened. That was the only realistic advice I can give. See, if you remember all those things for the rest of your life, what damage it will do to your body, you don't know why they are now interested in celebrating the anniversary of 9th and 11th of September, all the death anniversaries of those people. Why you are doing it? They are forgetting. It becomes less and less and less in your memory, and that is very essential for your survival. You want to remind them, perform ceremonies, and then you see now they want to celebrate on a worldwide scale.
You're inviting the
Leaders of mankind. That means you don't want the people to forget it. They don't want the people to forget. You see, that event that occurred 1 year ago. So that is the only reason why you perform the annual ceremonies of your dead mother, dead father. For what? They are all dead and gone. So people don't understand. Why am I saying that?
PK guy.
Huh?
PK guy to flush out the future.
To forget.
Don't do all this. You avoid another thing.
This is slow. You see, otherwise you don't seem to understand one basic thing that I am always emphasizing. The body does not accept any of the things you think you are good for me. your emotions, your feelings, your kindness, softness, gentleness, compassion you are practicing. That is the reason why you have all the heart problems.
But we are not only body, we are something else other than the body
Nothing is
also.
their only body. You have been brainwashed to believe
We are
that
emotional
body.
beings.
No, emotions are put in there by your culture. You know why? You see, you have tears. The tears are there only to lubricate the eyes. If you don't do, your eyes become dry and you will go blind. That is the only reason why I have never in my life cried. Probably as a baby. I don't have any of those problems, you guys. Never. You will lose your eyes. You will become blind if you don't have the tears. Even if it is divine love, that is rejected by the body. Body is not interested in anything they say and you accept is good for the body. You have never, I tell the people, you have never meditated very seriously. If you have meditated very seriously, either you will go mad and end up in the mental hospital singing very melodies and loony tunes or commit suicide. And then you call that jealous among. How many spiritual teachers who seriously did all those things? Even Ramatirtha, who wrote those books, 7 volumes, he committed suicide.
Even Vinoba also.
All of them,
So,
Shankaracharya there, the one before the two. Huh? Chandrasekhar Bharati committed suicide because they were. I met the Shankaracharya sir, and a common friend of Abhinav Vidyarthi I'm talking about. Very cunning, clever, crafty bastard. I'm sorry, you see. Very sorry. I have the greatest admiration for the institution of sannyas. It's something extraordinary.
Why? There must be something there.
No, nothing in the spiritual sense.
So why is that institution?
It is why you see, that's what I told the son of that gentleman also, don't live double life. Straightforward. You see, if you can't give up sannyas, but you are going to be miserable in this world also, because you spent 19 years of your life as a sannyasi, and how can you live the life you and I are living? It is just not possible. They will be miserable there, they will be miserable here.
But if the institution is not doing anything, why the institution is there?
Why you want-
Why you respect that institution?
Not respecting, don't touch that institution at all, either destroy or continue that institution. Just leave it there.
Whoever wants to follow that to the follow.
That is their affair. What have you to do?
Something must be there.
No,
then.
sir, nothing must be there. I am telling you
You
one
achieve
thing.
something
I am telling you one thing. If you are finished with God, you have no reason to free anybody from their belief in God. That is what the atheists are doing. They are still related to God. If you are for any reason freed from God, you will neither want people to believe in God, nor will you do anything to see that the people are freed from their belief in God. Never. You see, I found out, I was not, you don't become an atheist, you see, and start institutions and take people away from their belief in God. God is irrelevant. Whether he exists or not, what do I care? I don't need. I never entered a temple ever since I was 7 years old. You know? So what I am saying is that don't touch, destroy those institutions, whether there is anything to it or not. That is why I am blaming Buddha. Because even the guy who started this sannyas never existed before that. I am telling you, these sages just talk from their experiences and then continue. So why he created institutions to convert the people? He did not allow women to join the order. He is the worst enemy of this country. Worst enemy. And he would have remained a very just and ordinary spiritual teacher like all the teachers like Rajneesh, like Jai Krishnamurti. But the state used that as an instrument of power. Buddhism, Christianity, Islam would have remained small cults. But the state used them as instruments of power and forced it on us. Used violence, killed people. Why you have to kill hundreds and thousands of men, women and children To preach love thy neighbor as thyself, I want. I told Gandhi, more people have been killed in the name of non-violence than violence. What the hell you are? He didn't understand when I emphasized that both violence and non-violence spring from the same source. Same source. Non-violent movements. He announced to the wide world, I have committed a Himalayan blunder, and 1 year after he started another one. When I met him, I blasted him. You don't seem to understand. You know, love and hate are the same. They are diverse and the opposites of the same coin. If for any reason you want to not to be the opposite, the one thing that you can receive from is love. It is that demand that has created, I am a selfish man, some kind of a selfishness is necessary for the survival of the living organism. But to practice as a virtue. And what is it that has turned me into a selfish man? The demand to be free from selfishness. Anything I am doing to free myself from selfishness is perpetuating this. It is very difficult to get the hang of what I am saying. The opposite must never. You see, one who is trying to be free from what he is preaching others is the one that is creating all the problems. Sorry. Thank you, sir. Blessings and curses are the same.
want any of those now?
What Brahmachari was telling me, your blessings don't work, only your curses work.
That is more powerful.
In anything you claim is the result of my being around you or my doing. Get this and get this straight.
But without knowingly something happens. What
Nothing
you are
will
responsible for. It happens. What
You translate that and put it in the framework of your knowledge.
In
I am telling you.
In your context,
Sir, this was my problem. As a boy,
I'm going to curse
I experienced everything, even Turiya state, Turiya Atita state. Buddy, these are all self-created experiences. You have read the descriptions, how they described the non-existent state that they were living in. Used your thought, and you are experiencing the thought-induced state. Rejected it, uncondition yourself from whatever you are trying to free yourself from is perpetuating. Any movement in any direction.
But these two are bringing a lot of bondage, violence, contradiction.
Wanting to be free from the bondage is perpetuating the bondage. I am telling you. Anything you do.
No, you mean remain in the bondage.
Huh?
Remain in the bondage.
Anything you are doing to free yourself from non-existing bondage. The demand to be free from something that does not exist. I am telling you.
Lust and greed exist.
Huh?
Created.
That is creating bondage and violence. And
The demand to be free from bondage is the one that has created that bondage. So he gave a Nobel Prize and he created the nuclear weapons and created something for us which will be a nuclear holocaust. This we have seen, sir. The Hindu beauty, the Times of India, huge. It is only the dead structure that is moving there. And we have tremendous faith in those bonds. Huh? What are you talking about? How is it possible? So if there no need to find out what is
So
there.
what our knowledge says is should be because of a man and woman there's going to be a baby. You said. This is knowledge, no?
No, they don't think there is. The feeling you are talking about is different from the feeling that the thymus gland experiences. It is not emotional, it is not in any feeling good, feeling affection, feeling love, it is not anything. I have to use that word, you are moving like this. Where is that movement? If you fall like this, I don't tell myself that I am falling the way you are falling there. You trip over and fall. That is anything you say, where is it happening? Is that happening there or is it? I don't. tell myself all the time. I am using all these words to give you a hang about how this is responding. There is only response. The response is one unitary movement. It is not in the Vedantic sense that I am talking about the unitary movement. This cannot be separated. You see, the sense of touch. Only sensory activity is all that is there. Nothing, that's all. So this is the sense of touch from this. I am not saying that this is one or the oneness in the sense in which you guys talk about all that Vedanta. Nothing. Only when you say that this is hard, and the hardness is experienced by this sense of touch. So what is it that creates this hardness? The word hard is giving materiality and substance to this and make you experience this as hard. Otherwise it never tells you that this is hard. So you have been doing all your life that any time you looked at it, you told yourself that the table is hard, and then you put your finger. The moment you put your hand here, what you experience is the hardness, and so it is the knowledge in the past which is put in there, which you used it to experience the hardness of this, is already in operation. But there is no way you can experience this hardness. So it is that the word hard is the one that is giving materiality and substance to this.
The word itself is knowledge.
Huh?
The very word itself is knowledge.
That is you. You see, there is nothing else there other than that the word hard. And if it is just a word, and how come you experience the moment you put your hand as hardness? I don't experience the hardness at all unless I tell myself, or you ask me, how it is like, what is it that you are? So you are bringing out that knowledge that was put in there in me, which said that this is hard. Whoever said it doesn't matter. So every time, even without touching this, you are able to experience the hardness. You know. So this is the question which I am throwing at all the physiologists. Come to see the top ones, not just ordinary lecturers or the scientists. You seem to be able to experience the hardness of this, even without touching that. I don't know if I make myself clear. It is just not possible for me. So I may be a low-grade moron. That doesn't matter. Because only
That's what I wanted to.
my boy was only 4 months old, and I raised that boy. I was the luckiest person. So my wife was working, and then I told her, you see, all the money that you are making, $500 per week, will be used to use some maid or some girl to take care of this boy. You know, I was elected. That's why I am emphasizing, maintaining all the time. I have learned more from that boy from the time he was born until he left me in his second year, then all the secular and spiritual teachers put together about living. See, there are something extraordinary you can't. So one day he was 4 months old, he was moving towards the hot plate there. My wife was jumping all the time. He will burn his hand, he will do this. So you are putting fear into them. You understand? Fear that is responsible for that guy going there and touching that and burning himself. If you don't do anything, I told her, you stand here, don't talk. You just watch. I assure you that he will not burn his hand. She didn't want to believe me on this. He was jumping. If you do that, I will chain you to this post. I want you to see this. So he went closer and closer and closer. He tried to put his hand on this, and the heat pushed his hand away automatically. Without he was doing it. I don't want the people to do these experiments. If you try to tell the people that you are not going to burn yourself, you will suddenly touch it and find out that it is hot or cold. Huh? Don't
One
use
knowingly
that
and
word,
another
don't
non-knowingly.
use that word materialism, because now they have found out, the scientists whom you have tremendous investment in faith, they are saying that there is no such thing as matter. More different from the bacteria, billions and billions of bacteria that are there on this. You are made to believe that you are a human being, that you are born from some nobler and grander purpose than all the other forms of life. Everything that is there in this world is created for you. You don't seem to understand that you are misery for millions and millions of living. I am not saying that you should or should not. When you breathe, you are killing millions and millions of bacteria. When you open your mouth, they are there inside. The fauna and the flora inside of your body. They all depend upon one form of life lives on another form of life. The survival of this body depends upon the survival of the 32 billion bacteria that you have on this body, which your physical eye cannot see. Depend upon this, and your survival also depends upon this.
So human being also it depends.
Human being-
Your survival depends on me. My survival depends on you.
Yes, but not the way you translated and created the whole social structure.
Symbiosis.
No. Huh?
Symbiosis.
Symbiosis. So in exactly the same way, you can go to a laboratory and do some experiments to find out if what I am saying it makes any sense. You see the response to the stimulus and the response is one unitary movement. You understand? So you can go and to the laboratory, and all those people who are not ready to accept this and think that what I am saying is not acceptable. All right, let us go and perform these experiments there. But you have to create the space between the two, the sense of touch and the sense of response to that touch. In this world, exactly the same way.
But we are unfortunately in between. We are neither sane nor in between.
Then,
We are
then, please, then what is harmony, sir?
Harmony is already there. The harmony is told
Not
by,
that, sir.
no, listen to me, that you and your girlie, or the girlie is this baddie boy, must live in harmony. Those bastards are telling us, defining what is harmony. The harmonious way of living they talked about, described and bragged about, is the one that has created disharmony in my relationship with the people around me. You understand? So that makes it difficult for me to look at exactly the way this relationship is. You understand? So the idea that it should be a very harmonious living is the one that has created disharmony. Otherwise, that is going to be tomorrow and the day after, or 10 years, and if you believe in reincarnation, that will be your next life. But why you are not looking at this exactly the way it is? There is no disharmony there. Their idea that there should be a harmonious living is the one that has created the opposite. So why should we live in harmony? What for? Listen for a moment. But they are forcing us to live a harmonious life. All that you are doing is to try to create this.
Not that they have created disharmony.
That's the one that is telling me that you should be that you should be a selfless man, and you are a selfish guy, and the demand to be a selfless man is the one that has created the selfish man and perpetuating the selfishness, because it is not possible for you to free from yourself from what you call selfishness, and there is no need to separate yourself from selfishness, because there is no such thing as selfishness there. It is those jokers are telling you that you must be a selfless man, that you must free yourself from all selfishness. We are not dealing with the right things. What they want us to do is the one that has created all the problems. You are able to experience the hardness, you know. So this is the question which I am throwing at all the physiologists. Come to see the top ones, not just ordinary lecturers or the scientists, you seem to be able to experience the hardness of this, even without touching that. I don't know if I make myself clear. It is just not possible for me. So I may be a low-grade moron. That doesn't matter.
That's what I wanted to bring.
My boy was only 4 months old, and I raised that boy. I was the luckiest person. So my wife was working, and then I told her, you see, all the money that you are making, $500 per week, will be used to, you see, use some maid or some girl to take care of this boy. You know, I was elected. That's why I am emphasizing, maintaining all the time. I have learned more from that boy, from the time he was born until he left me in his second year, than all the secular and spiritual teachers put together. About the living, see, there are something extraordinary you can't. So one day he was 4 months old, he was moving towards the hot plate there. My wife was jumping all the time. He will burn his hand, he will do this. So you are putting fear into them. You understand? Fear that is responsible for that guy going there and touching that and burning himself. If you don't do anything, I told her, you stand here, don't talk. You just watch. I assure you that he will not burn his hand. She didn't want to believe me on this. He was jumping. If you do that, I will chain you to this post. I want you to see this. So he went closer and closer and closer. He tried to put his hand on this, and the heat pushed his hand away automatically. Without he was doing it. I don't want the people to do these experiments. If you try to tell the people that you are not going to burn yourself, you will suddenly touch it and find out that it is hot or cold. Huh? Don't use that word materialism, because now they have found out, the scientists with whom you have tremendous investment in faith, they are saying that there is no such thing as matter. More different from the bacteria, billions and billions of bacteria that are there on this. You are made to believe that you are a human being, that you are born for some nobler and grander purpose than all the other forms of life. Everything that is there in this world, or some such thing, and everybody was frightened. That was the only realistic advice I can give. See, if you remember all those things for the rest of your life, what damage it will do to your body, you don't know why they are now interested in celebrating the anniversary of 9th and 11th of September, all the death anniversaries of those people. Why you are doing it? They are forgetting. It becomes less and less and less in your memory, and that is very essential for your survival. You want to remind them, perform ceremonies, and then you see now they want to celebrate on a worldwide scale.
You're inviting the
Leaders of mankind. That means you don't want the people to forget it. You know, they don't want the people to forget. You see, that event that occurred 1 year ago. So that is the only reason why you perform the annual ceremonies of your dead mother, dead father. For what? They are all dead and gone. So people don't understand. Why am I saying?
PK guy.
Huh?
You can flush out the culture.
To forget.
Don't do all this. You avoid with other things.
That this is slow. You see, otherwise you don't seem to understand one basic thing that I am always emphasizing. The body does not accept any of the things you think you are good for. Your emotions, your feelings, your kindness, softness, gentleness, compassion you are practicing. That is the reason why you have all the heart problems.
But we are not only body, we are something else other than the body
Nothing is
also.
their only body. You have been brainwashed to believe
We are
that
emotional
body.
beings.
No, emotions are put in there by your culture. You know why? You see, you have tears. The tears are there only to lubricate the eyes. If you don't do, your eyes become dry and you will go blind. That is the only reason why I have never in my life cried. probably as a baby. I don't have any of those problems, you guys. Never. You will lose your eyes. You will become blind if you don't have the tears. Even if it is divine love, that is rejected by the body. Body is not interested in anything they say and you accept is good for the body. You have never, I tell the people, you have never meditated very seriously. If you have meditated very seriously, either you will go mad and end up in the mental hospital singing very melodies and Looney Tunes or commit suicide. And then you call that jealous among. How many spiritual teachers who seriously did all those things? Even Ramatirtha, who wrote those books, 7 volumes, he committed suicide. Even the guy who started this sannyas never existed before that. I am telling you, these sages just talk from their experiences and then continue. So why he created institutions to convert the people? He did not allow women to join the order. He is the worst enemy of this country. Worst enemy. And he would have remained a very just and ordinary spiritual teacher like all the teachers like Rajneesh, like Jai Krishnamurti. But the state used that as an instrument of power. Buddhism, Christianity, Islam would have remained small cults. But the state used them as instruments of power and forced it on us. Used violence, killed people. Why you have to kill hundreds and thousands of men, women and children? To preach love thy neighbor as thyself, I want. I told Gandhi, more people have been killed in the name of non-violence than violence. What the hell you are? He didn't understand when I emphasized that both violence and non-violence spring from the same source. Same source. Non-violent movements. He announced to the wide world, I have committed a Himalayan blunder, and 1 year after he started another one. When I met him, I blasted him. You don't seem to understand. You know, love and hate are the same. They are diverse and the opposites of the same coin. If for any reason you want to not to be the opposite, the one thing that you will get from is love. It is that demand that has created, I am a selfish man, some kind of a selfishness is necessary for the survival of the living organism. But to practice as a virtue. And what is it that has turned me into a selfish man? The demand to be free from selfishness. Anything I am doing to free myself from selfishness is perpetuating this. It is very difficult to get the hang of what I am saying. The opposite must never. You see, one who is trying to be free from what he is preaching others is the one that is creating all the problems. Sorry. Thank you, sir. Blessings and curses are the same.
What any of those now?
What Brahmachari was telling me, your blessings don't work, only your curses work.
That is more powerful.
In anything you claim is the result of my. Don't seem to understand that you are misery for millions and millions of living. I am not saying that you should not. When you breathe, you are killing millions and millions of bacteria. When you open your mouth, they are there inside. The fauna and the flora inside of your body. They all depend upon one form of life lives on another form of life. The survival of this body depends upon the survival of the 32 billion bacteria that you have on this body, which your physical eye cannot see. Depend upon this, and your survival also depends upon this.
So human being also it depends.
Human being,
Your survival depends on me. My survival depends on you.
yes, but not the way you translated and created the whole social structure.
Symbiosis.
No,
Symbiosis.
symbiosis. So in exactly the same way, you can go to a laboratory and do some experiments to find out if what I am saying Is there any, it makes any sense? You see, the response to the stimulus and the response is one unitary movement. You understand? So, you can go and to the laboratory and all those people who are not ready to accept this and think that what I am saying is not acceptable. Alright, let us go and perform these experiments there. But you have to create the space between the two, the sense of touch and the sense of response to that touch. In this world, exactly the same way.
But we are unfortunately in between. We are neither sane nor in between.
Then what is harmony, sir?
Harmony is already there. The harmony is told
Not
by,
that, sir.
no, listen to me. That you and your girlie, or the girlie is this baddie boy, must live in harmony. Those bastards are telling us, defining what is harmony. The harmonious way of living they talked about, described and bragged about, is the one that has created disharmony in my relationship with the people around me. You understand? So that makes it difficult for me to look at exactly the way this relationship is. You understand? So the idea that it should be a very harmonious living is the one that has created disharmony. Otherwise, that is going to be tomorrow and the day after, or 10 years, and if you believe in reincarnation, that will be your next life. But why you are not looking at this exactly the way it is? There is no disharmony there. There I because we hear the stories that rishis, when they said something, it happened immediately. He walked on water. Luckily for him and unluckily for mankind, the water happened to be only ankle deep. He laughed. He laughed. This time you see, anybody did succeed, he was on his duty. And then he died of cancer when he was 32 years old. He became one of the top, what do you call advertising, what is it?
Freelance.
Not freelancing. The thumbs up. So many of these things he was doing. He made a lot of money.
Copywriter.
He was living for the first time outside of marriage with his secretary for 10 years. And then I happened to be here at the time when he was dying of cancer. First time in the newspapers. I was here in Bangalore. He was asking me, please come, I want to see you for the last time. I may not live long. So any interest in going and seeing my son? And then you see in the papers it appeared that how can you be so unconcerned about his dying son? Valentine wished me. So then I decided to go and see. Do you know what the headlines in the newspapers said? How can an enlightened man visit his own son so often? They created a problem for him. Alright, see, then he died after some time. And I happened to be there, so because the girl he was living with was not married to him, I had to sign all the papers and then also take him there to the place, signed all the papers. And the next day, you see the enlightened man doing all these things, which was their problem. Now that was the only thing. And she was carrying the ashes. And the way I treated that, you see, it surprised everybody, the hospital people and Mahesh. And her father came and he wanted to comfort me, console me. And he asked me a question, how can your son die, sir? He thought that I am a spiritual man that I would save him. Or some such thing. Why not my son? Why should somebody else's son die? So that was the thing, he made a famous movie. So it won international awards also my age. And so we were returning from that place and she was carrying the ash. And she was crying. I asked her, don't you let me forget that bastard. He is now reduced to ashes. He used to pick a gun. 10 minutes after he was reduced to ashes, I told that girl. And I thought she would get up and throw all the ashes on my head or some such thing. And everybody was frightened. That was the only realistic advice seemed to understand one basic thing that I am always emphasizing. The body does not accept any of the things you think you are good for me. Your emotions, your feelings, your kindness, softness, gentleness, compassion you are practicing. That is the reason why you have all the heart problems.
But we are not only body, we are something else other than the body
Nothing is
also.
their only body. You have been brainwashed to believe
We are
that
emotional
body-
beings.
No, emotions are put in there by your culture. You know why? You see, you have tears. The tears are there only to lubricate the eyes. If you don't do, your eyes become dry and you will go blind. That is the only reason why I have never in my life cried. Probably as a baby. I don't have any of those problems, you guys. Never. You will lose your eyes. You will become blind if you don't have the tears. Even if it is divine love, that is rejected by the body. Body is not interested in anything they say and you accept is good for the body. You have never, I tell the people, you have never meditated very seriously. If you have meditated very seriously, either you will go mad and end up in the mental hospital singing very melodies and loony tunes or commit suicide. And then you call that jealous among. How many spiritual teachers who seriously did all those things? Even Ramatirtha, who wrote those books, 7 volumes, he committed suicide.
Even Vinoba also.
All of
So
them,
the-
Shankaracharya there, the one before the two. Huh?
Chandrasekhar Bhatt.
Chandrasekhar Bharati committed suicide because they were. See,
Yalasamala.
I met the Shankaracharya sir, and a common friend of
Abhinav
Abhinav Vidyarthi I'm talking about. Very cunning, clever, crafty bastard. I'm sorry, you see. Very sorry. I have the greatest admiration for the institution of sannyas. It's something extraordinary.
Why?
But-
There must be something there.
No, nothing in the spiritual sense.
But why is that institution?
It is why you see, that's what I told the son of that gentleman also, don't live double life. Straightforward. You see, if you can't give up sannyas, but you are going to be miserable in this world also, because you spent 19 years of your life as a sannyasi, and how can you live the life you and I are living? It is just not possible. They will be miserable there, they will be miserable here.
But if the institution is not doing anything, why the institution is there?
Why you want-
Why you respect that institution?
Not respecting, don't touch that institution at all, either destroy or